Good morning, my dear students and parents. How are you all? Everybody in good health? Okay, so my dear children, in the last video, we have completed with the lesson and we have also written about the author as well as the summary of the lesson. Okay, and I expect that everybody have completed with the comprehension checks of the lesson. Okay. So now coming with the question answers of the lesson, the best Christmas present in the world, written by Michelle Mark Pupuko from Your Honeydew. So your first question is here. For how long do you think Connie had kept Jim's letter? Give reasons for your answer. Connie had kept Jim's last letter till January 25th, 1915. The letter was dated 26 December 1914. Why do you think the desk had been sold and when? The desk must have been sold when Connie's house had burnt. The table had been damaged by fire as well as water. Why do Jim and Hans think that games or sports are good ways of resolving conflicts? Do you agree? Both Jim and Hans were soldiers. Both were warm-hearted. They had seen the suffering of war, so it was natural for them to hate war. They favored a peaceful solution to settle disputes. Games or sports, they said, were good ways of resolving conflicts because no one will die, no children will become orphan, and no wives will be widow. I also quite agree with them as it will enhance friendship and will resolve conflict without any bloodshed. Question number 4. Do you think the soldiers of the two armies are like each other or different from each other? Find evidence from story to support your answer. The soldiers of the two armies were each alike. They love peace and hate war. They want to live together with their families. Evidences. On the Christmas morning, both the armies wished Merry Christmas to each other, shared their sausage, snaps, and Christmas cake with each other. They played football and at night shared Christmas carols. Beside this, Hans Wolf said that he was sure that the soldiers from both the armies wished the fight to end soon and wanted to go home. They also wanted to resolve war by sports. Question number 5. Mention the various ways in which the British and the German soldiers become friends and find their things in common at Christmas. The British and the German soldiers belonged to different camps. They were enemies in wartime, but after all, they were human beings and therefore they had similar feelings. They shared the festive spirit of the Christmas. They got over hatred and played games, feasted and drank like good friends. Both hated war. Both were anxious to go back safely to their families at the end of war. What is Connie's Christmas present? Why is the best Christmas present in the world? Connie thought that Jim had come back from war. She mistook the author for Jim. She had been waiting for her husband, Jim. So the coming home of Jim was the best Christmas present in the world for her. Do you think the title of the story is suitable for it? Can you think of any other title or titles? The title of the story is most suitable. For the old Connie, no other present could have given her such joy as the coming back of Jim, her husband. Her presumption might be wrong, but she got the greatest happiness for her life. Since the story revolves around Christmas, the alternate title of the story could be War and Peace or Christmas Gift, but neither can be matched to the present title. So, my dear children, these are the answers given by me. If you want your own answer, you can write your own answers without any problem, but the meaning of the answer, the sense of the answer should not change. Okay, you can go ahead with your own answers also, no problem. Okay, now some extra questions are there. Go ahead, look into it, and you have to write all these things in your notebook. Okay, how did author find Jim's letter? What did it contain? The author found Jim's letter in the small black tin box put in the drawer of an old table. Jim's letter was addressed to his wife. He was a British soldier, but he was glad to have celebrated Christmas together with the German soldiers. He put down his thoughts in the letter and promised to come back home on Christmas. Jim talks about an incident that had just happened at the front. What was it? England and Germany were at war with each other. The British soldiers were waiting to shoot the German soldiers, but on Christmas a strange development took place. The German soldiers came out of their hiding place and called out Happy Christmas. They were alarmed and they waved a white flag. The British soldier, led by Captain Jim Macpherson, agreed to celebrate the festival together. Who are Fritz and Tommy in the story? Fritz and Tommy are the names given to the German and British soldiers respectively. Describe in brief the author's meeting with Connie. Connie, or Mrs. Macpherson, was 101 years old when the author took Jim's letter to her in a nursing home. She became very excited. Her eyes lit up and she mistook the author for her husband. She kissed his cheeks. She said that she had been reading this letter every day, but she wanted to hear his voice. She had also made a Christmas cake for him, as he had promised to come home. She thought that he had come back home. She called his presence at home as the best Christmas present for her in the world. Question number 5. What had happened to Mrs. Macpherson? Describe her condition. Mrs. Macpherson lived alone after her husband, Jim Macpherson, went to join the British Army during the First World War. One day, her house caught fire, but she was saved by the firemen. From then, she had been in a nursing home for treatment. She had grown extremely old and couldn't walk on herself, and her life got confined to a wheelchair. So children, these are the question answers of the lesson, the best Christmas present in the world. Everyone will write these answers in your notebook, and if anybody is having their own answers or wishes to write their own answers, they can write it, but the meaning and the sense of the answer should not change. Okay, my dear children? Fine. So, write all this thing and take care of yourself. Thank you. Bye-bye.